All right, so lastly here we have the last example. We're gonna determine by giving this function whether it is continuous at x equals 3. If f is not continuous, identify which rule is violated, right? So first of all, let's check whether determine whether this is continuous or not by checking each one, right? So we have to decide which of these three is actually which one of these three is it makes this continuous, or maybe this is actually continuous, right? And so we will choose this one, right? So let's do some math here. So let's try to find what is f of 3. F of 3 is the value of the function when x equals 3. So the value of the function is equal to this, or this, but it takes different values depending on the value of the x. So it could be this value when x is greater than 3, or it could be 21 when x equals 3. So there you go. Actually, when x equals 3, which is that's your x, the value, the output of the function is 21. So we just learned that this is 21. All right, so let's try the next one. So we haven't, this does not tell us enough information whether this is, so far we cannot, so far we have deduced that it is, that this is defined, right? There's actual value for this. So we can argue that so far this can never be true, right, for this problem. We cannot say that it's not going to be continuous because f of 3 is undefined, because we already know it is defined. Right? We know f of 3 is defined. So that cannot be true, the first option. So now let's try the next one. Can the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 does not exist? So let's go ahead. So remember how we do that. We have to actually check what's the limit of the function as x approaches 3 from the left side, and determine whether this is the same as the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 from the right side. So let's see what happens. So what is the limit of f of x? So what is the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 from the left side? So that means that if x is approaching 3 from the left side, if you maybe draw a number line, right? Here's your 3, here's your 1, here's your 2, here's your 4, here's your 5. So if you're approaching 3 from the left side, that means that x is less than 3. These are all values of x less than 3. So therefore, we're going to be using this option. So in other words, we're going to find when x is less than 3, the value of the function is going to be, we're going to plug in 3, direct substitution, right? Maybe I can do it in a different way. Maybe I can say, oh, the limit as x approaches 3 from the left side is going to be equivalent to the limit of 5x plus 8 as x approaches 3 from the left side, right? Because this is the case, right? This is the case where x is less than 3. So that's why this takes this value, right? And then, so now we can do direct substitution, and we can have the 5 times 3 plus 8, which gives us 15 plus 8, that's 23. So far, we learned that the limit of the function as x approaches 3 from the left side is 23. Now, what about the right side? So as the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 from the right side, then we have the case where we have to choose if x is coming from the right side, right? Again, the number line, that means that it's coming from this side, so that means the x values are greater than 3. So therefore, we're going to be using this option for the function, because these are all the cases where x is greater than 3. And then now we can do the direct substitution, right, of this limit, and that will give us 38 plus sorry, minus 5 times 3. So that's 38 minus 15. And that is going to be, let me see if I'm doing my math correctly. 15 plus 8 is 23. Okay, and then 38 minus 15, that's 23 as well, right? 23. 38, we add 15 plus 8, that's 23 as well. So that's 23 as well, right? So these two happen to be the same, right? So since these two are the same, that means that the limit, this implies that the limit of f of x does exist, and it is 23. So that means that this cannot be true. There's not gonna be it's not continuous because the limit of f of x does not exist. We know that this cannot happen because we already know it does exist, and it is 23. Alright, so the next line is determine whether it's not continuous because the limit of f of x does not equal f of 3. And that's actually true. Let's see why. So the value of this is, the value of the limit is, we know it's 23, but we know that this is not equal to 21. We know 23 is not equal to 21, which is your f of 3. So that means that this is true, right? This is true. So therefore this, we know this is false, right? And so there you go. We determined that the function is not continuous because the limit of f of x as x approaches 3 does not equal f of 3. All right. Hope you guys found these helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions.